Hello, Moon Buns. How we doing? Uh, I am distraught. Oh god, I love how it was like, I am ready for the stream. I am so excited. I'm gonna talk about things. And then, Doof had shared something with me about, an actor from, hold on, everything's freezing all of a sudden. One of the actors from Stranger Things, and now I'm just like, no! God. I don't know if you guys want to hear my theory or not before I get into all the Star Palace stuff. Oh, man. Yes? Jeanette, you want to hear about the theory about Stranger Things before we get into Star Palace? Okay, good. I'm glad you like the background screen. Next, I threw it together in like 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. Again, I was getting ready for the Star Palace stream, and Doof sent me this really cool thing about the actor who plays Dustin on Stranger Things, Gaten, how do I say his name? Matarazzo. He is actually going to be playing Jared in the Broadway return of Dear Evan Hansen. And then I came to the sudden realization that so he's starting that up actually on Doof's birthday on July 19th, and I'm just like, wait a minute, if he's on Broadway, does he have time to film for season 5 of Stranger Things, because they've been confirmed for a season 5? And now I'm like, oh no, does Dustin die in season 4? I will literally cry. I will cry. So yeah, that's my Stranger Things season 4 theory that I'm really distraught and upset about now, because it's one of my favorite characters. I will cry if they kill my child. So yeah, that's there's my theory. We're gonna move on from that, because that was not the the thing with the stream. God, I will also cry if this is the truth that happens, right? Yeah, it's 2 days away. It's 2 days away from the Stranger Things drop. I'm literally like shaking in excitement. I'm ready. I'm fucking ready. All right, so back to business though. The first thing I'm gonna actually say is a little bit of announcement. A little bit of an announcement. I can talk, I swear. Bleh. I have already shown this to my patrons in the Discord server and on Patreon itself, but Star Palace is no longer going to be a collaboration between Frazzy and myself. So they are still going to be getting paid to do artwork for it, but Cloud and Fry are actually no longer going to be included in the storyline. There will be possible collaborations in the future, but for now, Frazzy has other projects that they'd like to work on and other responsibilities that are kind of keeping them from being able to be present and be able to put their all into this particular project. So again, there might be collaborations in the future, but for right now, this is just going to be me doing most of it, other than paying for art, obviously, and some other things. But nevertheless, I'm still very, very excited about this project, and I can't wait to show you guys all of the stuff that I've been drafting up. There is a new character that has previously been mentioned, and if you all stick around for the end of the stream, I will actually be giving you this new character's name and just a tiny bit about them. There's going to be more coming out in the future, though. But, oh my god, everyone's freaking out about this now, about Stranger Things. Oh, yeah, thank you, Laren. Yeah, my eye is actually completely healed now. It is actually, is totally better. There's no lasting damage. But yeah. What is the fandom of not randomly scarring yourself with a theory that pops unbinded into your head? You're right. You're right. Yeah. Nex already knows about this character. Nex knows about the new character. So, they're just like chomping at the bit to be able to talk about them. And so yeah, you guys are gonna get to know the character's name. You're not gonna see the design just yet, because I'm kind of waiting for the better character reference sheet, which Frazzy will be working on. I'm excited. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about that character. So we're gonna keep the character questions for later though, because I have Zavi's reference sheet here, I have Fairy Floss's reference sheet here, so we'll get to those characters one at a time. But I'm kind of curious to know what you guys, before I start getting into talking about Star Palace, if you guys have any questions like straight out the gate, like what do you guys want to know? Because this is gonna be fun. Even if the background is made quickly, it's really well done. Thank you. That little logo up there is, I want to find someone who actually makes like vector logos, like real logos, because I want that but better. Because that is in my mind the logo that I kind of imagine seeing like on the building. What forms of entertainment are offered at Star Palace? Okay, so Star Palace is quite literally a mishmash. So what it is this company has decided to take a bunch of things that already existed and kind of smash them all together, even if they don't totally fit. They change everything about 20% so they don't get copywritten, and that is how they build their business. So, because what is Star Palace? Okay, so Star Palace is my that is my new project that I'm working on, and the name Star Palace is literally the business. So it is the whole building that encompasses everything that's going on here. And so when it comes to entertainment, they do have like a circus themed dinner show that's very much like, if y'all have ever seen Medieval Times, it's basically that but with clowns, where it's just like you get to like sit around the stage and they do this whole performance. And the 3 robotic characters, so Zavi, the new character, and Fairy Floss are the performers. And so you've got that nighttime show. You've got little stages in the main room, so they'll all come out and they'll do like little things, or they'll just like walk around, they'll like talk to people. There is a little arcade in there, and there are actually a couple of rides in there which are shut down because this building was bought again from something else. So this building was something kind of akin to a Medieval Times. So the outside of the building is a castle, and that's why the name Star Palace is what they chose as their business name. This is just the building that they found. They cleaned up a little bit, changed some things, and they were like, well, okay, this is our business now. Will there be clown jousting? No, not jousting. It's circus themed. So it's not necessarily Medieval Times as in there's jousting and there's a queen and all that stuff. It's literally like it's that style of like theater is what I mean. And that style of like dinner show. Is this sort of like FNAF inspired? Kind of. They did start out as FNAF OCs, and then I'm just like, you know what, I could do so much more with this. So that's why it has grown. What colors does Star Palace use as their theme? So kind of the colors that are on Zavi, actually, because I think that I want to make him like the first one that they acquired. So the colors that are in the logo. So it's like blue, pink, purple, and yellow. Because it's stars. There's literally stars everywhere. I kind of like the idea of like certain rooms having like these cheap ass like stars like hanging from the ceiling. But yeah. What sorts of jobs are there to apply for any given time? Okay, so there's going to be things like your arcade attendant, there's going to be ticket sales, there's different food service jobs. So there's things like the person who actually does the food serving for the dinner show, there's the people who like make the food. There's also quick service stuff in there, which is quick service is just like if you think about a theme park that's any little place that you go to for food that you don't, it's like not a sit down restaurant. So it's kind of like it's a show area, but there's also like a mini theme park inside. Is Zavi the face of Star Palace? Zavi is one of the 3 faces of Star Palace because the 3 bots are technically all 3 mascots. Let's see. Hold on. I'm making sure I'm not missing anything. Are customers invited to help in the clown robot shows? No, because it is all circus stuff that is deemed kind of too dangerous for humans. So think Cirque du Soleil, where they're doing stuff like without nets and stuff like that. If they do anything with the guests, it's going to be in the actual audience area or in the main room. It's not going to be like actually on the stage because that's going to be too dangerous, and they're not really out for lawsuits. Let's see. How do they acquire the clown bots? Okay, so they are all used. We are going to go into that actually a little bit when we talk about the characters themselves. So when I talk about Zavi first, I'll talk about how they got him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, guys, you never have to ask me if I'm okay with fan art. I have said multiple times in like every stream and like everywhere, like I am totally okay with fan art. Please, I want to see it. In fact, there's a link down below for the giveaway for the Zavi body pillowcase, and one of the ways that you can gain extra entries is by doing fan art of him, or even like if you want to make crafts of him, if you want to write fan fiction. As long as you guys aren't writing fan fiction about my Sona, everything else is pretty much good. Like, I'm okay with fan fiction on the characters. I just didn't want people writing fan fiction about essentially me. But yeah. What kind of media is Star Palace? Is it going to be videos, comics, animation? Okay, so originally it was going to be animatics, but because of the fact that we've had to change up some things, as of right now, I'm thinking it is going to be an audio drama. So it will be fully voice acted. There will be like a written version. So I'm gonna write this out kind of like a book and then turn it into a script, and it will be fully voice acted. It's gonna be pretty cool. I would like to eventually get pieces of it animated, but that just kind of depends on how much money I can raise for it. So as of right now, just count on it being an audio drama or like an audio book. Is Star Palace related to the company? No, it is not related to FNAF in and of itself, because this is a completely different universe. This is a completely original concept at this point. It is not actually like hooked together with FNAF. What kind of food is being served? So they are gonna have like your generic stuff like burgers and pizza and stuff like that for like the daytime. When it comes to like the dinner show at night, it's gonna be nicer things, kind of like roast chicken. And, you know, still kind of cheap, but, like, you know, they're gonna dress it up, make it look nicer. So, like, roast chicken, like, soup, stuff like that. They are gonna have alcohol. They do still allow different areas in the palace to be rented out for, like, adult parties, things like that. Let's see. Audio drama. Yes. Okay, cool. Yay. I'm glad you guys are excited about an audio drama. It's gonna take a lot of editing, but it'll be worth it. I've got two absolutely phenomenal voice actors working with me on stuff. Will there be turkey legs? No, I feel like it's a little bit too messy. Turkey legs definitely fit with actual medieval times, but not necessarily with something that's supposed to, quote-unquote, be classy. But yeah. I've done a lot of thought about the building. I actually also need to find someone who I can pay to, who specializes in background, so they can, I can have them help me design what the building looks like, because I want, like, full-on visuals to put in the background for you guys for, what's going on, so, like, what room it's in and all that jazz. All three of the main bots do actually have their own, rooms. It's not FNAF. Star Palace is my new original concept. Real quick, just so I don't end up stepping on any toes, is it cool to make a fan character for Star Palace in the future? Yeah, honestly, like, as long as people know that it's a fan character, that's totally fine. What's the dress code like? Okay, I am still working on the uniform. There is a uniform. I have to outwardly, like, draw that out. It's kind of actually inspired a little bit of the uniform from Disney's ride Spaceship Earth, but I will get to designing that. I promise. You will see it soon. It's a lot of fun. It's basically like black pants, black shoes, and then like a special shirt. And then there are also staff hoodies, which are really, really plain looking. They just say staff on the front, and they have the Star Palace logo on the back. So like one of the human employees that I've made up, their name is Cricket, and Cricket wears the hoodie all the time, so it basically covers up most of what else they wear. I'm still working on those human side characters. They're not really as important as the bots. They are there to kind of like help fill in the world, but I do have some designs in mind. How big is the Star Palace? It's pretty big. Again, it's kind of like a mini indoor theme park alongside having the amphitheater inside of it. Rooms for each of the bots. There is a maintenance room. Obviously, there's the kitchen. There's a couple of little quick food service areas. There's the whole like dining hangout area. There's the arcade. It's pretty big. But yeah. That's another thing that, again, all of this has been like really well thought out, but at this point it's a matter of I need to pay people to help me implement it. But yeah. Yes, you can make fan characters. Any more questions, friends, before we maybe, like, move on to the character stuff? I don't want to move on too quickly in case anybody still has questions. I'll just jam to the music for a minute. I love this music. I did put the link to the music down below as per usual. Are there only 3 bots at Star Palace, or are there other ones that are just aren't as prominent? No, they're actually the only 3 bots. They're the only ones because honestly, buying too many of them will be too expensive. Now there is technically actually okay, so I guess I lied. There's another one who is in one of the broken down rides. There's a dragon animatronic actually in one of the rides that they're not currently using because yeah, so that one technically is more of an animatronic. So if it is rooted to the ground, it is an animatronic. If they're like walking around, I consider it a bot because they're full-fledged AIs. They're constantly learning. They know how to interact with humans, and they don't have to be like hooked into anything in order to work. How many characters are there? So as of right now, there are the 3 bot characters, and there are officially 3 human characters, but I want to make a few more just to kind of be there in the background. So there's Cricket, there's Cricket's girlfriend who doesn't have a name yet. Cricket is obviously a nickname. And then actually my character Fanny is going to be pulled into this as well. Let's see. And my last non-character specific question, do you have a favorite character at Star Palace currently? God, that's hard to choose because I created all of them. I guess currently it's probably Zavi. We'll see how attached I get to the new one once they're being voice acted, because that's a big thing for me. Is usually I get more attached to the character as they grow. Are the bots possessed? No. Strawberry, you really need to let go of the FNAF thing because this is so far away from FNAF. The only thing that it has in common is that there are robots and it's a attraction basically. There's nothing else that it connects to FNAF. They have fully functioning AIs. They learn, and unfortunately, whatever glitches they have, whatever problems they have, it's basically because they are growing as a human would grow, and they're developing their own problems. Who's the most fun to draw out of your OCs? Okay, so I don't really draw that much. I draw the initial design. I know how to draw well enough to get the initial design out, and then I pop them off to somebody else to have them draw them better because I do not have confidence in my drawing abilities. But yeah. How long will the audio be? It's that I cannot guarantee just yet because it's gonna take a lot of editing, and it's gonna be in chunks. That's the thing. It's not gonna be one straight audio. Each character, each of the 3 bots is going to have their own focus. And then of course you've got your intro. There's gonna be the actual like end to it. And each character is going to have a slightly different end game from each other. So there's going to be a minimum, absolute minimum of 5 different audio chunks out there. And they're gonna be on the longer side. Because again, I'm writing this like as a book form first, and then I'm gonna be turning it into a script. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's also, like, the interactions between the characters. There's going to be them, like, growing together, because this new character does admittedly kind of fit into the slot that Cloud was in previously. So this new character doesn't get along with Zavi at first, and it takes a lot for them to actually become friends and actually start to, like, work together on things. As I chew on some ice, I'm sorry. Again, Nex is very, very excited about the new character, and Nex and G-Knight are already simping. I will tell you guys that right now. Nex and G-Knight are already simping over this new character. And it's a lot of fun. I love watching them freak out over these characters. It's great, because they get to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff. They get to see, like, as the characters are being made. Nex was actually sitting with me while I was designing them. and then I heard a song, and it immediately like triggered a complete outfit redesign in my brain. And the character wound up with a new outfit and a beautiful color palette, and I'm very excited to show you guys that character eventually. No, Cloud is not part of this new thing. I made an announcement at the very beginning that Frazzy and I are no longer actually collaborating on this. It's just me. I am paying Frazzy for some of the artwork, but it is me doing all of the writing and all of the character design and everything. So, very sip-worthy. I am glad. I am glad. Alright, so I guess at this point we will actually move on to stuff about Zavi. Will there be a ball pit with a clown duck in it? What? No. I have no idea what you're referencing. I love when music can just inspire that much. Same, honestly. Alright, so I was gonna put that right there. It's fine. It is an incredible song. It's a really good song. Yeah, sometimes a single song can inspire a whole story. It really can. Alright, so we are going to move on to Zavi. I know that you guys were asking, because some things have changed from the FNAF canon into the new canon. So you guys were asking how Star Palace acquired the bots. They actually acquired them all refurbished. And so with Zavi originally was, and I need to get a reference sheet done of him in his original outfit, which is actually medical scrubs, because we're not talking about Cloud and Nimbus Friend. They are not included in this canon. So Zavi originally was a medical bot. He worked with pretty much anybody, but primarily in the children's ward. And this is why he has all that training on like helping with anxiety and helping with depression and all of that stuff, because he literally is like helping all of the people who are stuck in the hospital for really long spans of time. He's there to bring them joy. He's there to be a comfort to them and a caretaker. And the thing is, he gets very attached to the children. And there is a child whom he gets attached to who he realizes has an abusive parent. And Zavi goes full protection mode and tries to protect the child from that abusive parent and accidentally hurts the parent. And because of that, because he just saw red and he was like, no, this child takes precedent, this child's safety is more important, the hospital actually shut him down and they sent him out to be refurbished. So some of his programming got messed with, some things got added in, and Star Palace actually purchased him and added in the performer programming, and that is why he is now at Star Palace. It's because he was discontinued from the... Wow, my brain's blanking out. I'm sorry, the hospital, because he hurt a human. Now, he did this, again, in protection of a child. It wasn't just like he straight up went to, like, hurt somebody. That kid needed help, and he knew that that kid needed help, and so he went for it. Also, do you guys want to know why the sheep is his favorite animal? Because I made that sad, too. I want to wait and see if you guys want to be tortured. This design is so much fun, by the way. So I designed him, and then I paid Frazzy to draw him nicer. And that's why this ref is so beautiful. Right? Yeah, no, parents like that deserve it. It is very sad. A lot of what Zavi is craving is the actual, like, bond between, like, himself and people. And as a performer, he doesn't really get that. Ah, okay. Alright, you guys are curious now. Okay, so... the sheep is his favorite. Oh no. That story broke my heart, Calen. Break everyone else's heart with a sheep. So, Zavi's favorite animal is a sheep because when he was working in the hospital, there was a particular child that he got very attached to who was very, very sickly. They were not doing very good. And they had a little sheep plush that was their, like, prized possession. And one day, they gave it to him as a gift. They wanted him to have it because they adored him so much and he took such good care of them. And pretty much right after that, this child died. So the child gave Zavi their most prized possession, which was their little sheep plush, and then they died. And so Zavi loved that sheep plush. That was his number one comfort item. That was his most prized possession because it just reminded him of that child, and he was so sad to lose that child. And unfortunately, when he was moved out of the hospital and into Star Palace, they took it from him. They threw it away. So when he was at the hospital, was he always a clown, or did Star Palace completely rebuild him? No, he was still a clown. He was in a very different outfit, and had slightly different face paint from what I'm thinking, but he was still a clown. No. I'm good at making things sad, okay? No. Have I broken everybody's heart? Have I made everyone sad now? Does Zavi prefer working as a performer or working as a medic? Abby, I've already said it in the beginning. Cloud is no longer part of this canon. Frazzy and I are no longer collaborating on this. Does Zavi oh, sorry. I already read that. Let's see. Honestly, he does prefer working in the medical field. Again, that's part of why he's so attention-starved, because he's very used to having the one-on-one and, like, getting to bond with people and getting to take care of them. And being a performer is fine because he does still get a certain amount of attention, but it's not the same kind of attention, and that's why he acts out so badly, like, searching for it and, like, fighting with the new character for that attention and fighting for the number one spot, because he thinks that that'll satisfy him, and that's not the kind of attention that he's actually looking for. Why would you break our hearts like this? I just randomly come up with ideas. This is just a thing where I'll be thinking about something and then an entirely new plot point or, like, idea like that will just drop into my head, and this was one of those things. And I was like, alright, this is it. This is the thing. Also, by the way, the sheep's name is Prince Lamington III. That was the name, sorry, the second. Prince Lamington II is the name of a sheep plush that he now has, because Prince Lamington I was the original plush. Can Zavi sew? He is not trained to sew. He could learn, but he does not sew. Calen's good at making people cry. By breaking their hearts with amazing character design and excellent mental health breaks because of the storytelling. Thank you! I think a lot about these characters. Any chance that I get, I'm basically just, like, spacing out and thinking about it. Someone please make Zavi a new sheep plush, please. There is actually a little thing coming. Mango is working on the art for this. There is a little, you guys get a tiny sneak peek here. There is a video coming that is a little point of view, you giving Zavi a sheep plush. So yeah, the sheep plush that he is given in that video is Prince Lamington II, because Lamington I was the sheep plush that the child gave him. What did Zavi's outfit look like before he was purchased? I don't have visuals for this yet, but he was wearing medical scrubs instead of the full clown outfit. He still had, like, the same shoes, he had a slightly different hat, and he was wearing, like, blue medical scrubs. Because that way he kind of, like, he was like a little doctor clown. Jeez, why is it the people that I meet are so creative but absolutely love to wreck my heart with beautiful sorrow? That's because some of the most creative people are the most sad inside. So we make everybody else suffer with us. Angst feeds my soul. Zavi's very angsty, I'm not even gonna lie. Uh, but he might actually be getting a happy ending in this story, or at least as happy as of an ending as he can get, because Zavi has not been given a happy ending in the past. Like, usually whenever I focus on him, it's a very sad ending, like he dies or like something horrible happens, and he dies lonely. And in this case, he might actually get a happy ending here, and that's all I'm gonna say on that, because you guys are gonna have to wait for that. Does he still have the sheep plush, and if not, will he go after it? Well, like I said, they threw away the original. They took the original away from him and threw it away when he got sold, so it's not even something that he can go after anymore. It's in a completely different state, basically. If Zavi sees the person he likes in a sheep outfit, will he love them more? I mean, Zavi loves very hard, as it is. He loves very hard, so honestly, it wouldn't even really, like, matter what you were wearing. He'd still love you. Hi, Susie! I love how you show up as we're talking about Zavi. That was good timing. Yeah, you missed some Zavi info. I'm sorry, Snoozy. It's okay, you can always rewatch it. We started talking about Zavi like 10 minutes ago. Can he hug people? Of course, that's why he has 4 arms. 4 arms are meant for hugging, and they're also meant for, like, taking care of everything. That's another good reason for him to have the 4 arms, too, is all of the medical stuff, so he can technically be, like, working on medical equipment while also, like, distracting the children and, like, taking care of them. Frickety frick. Any more questions about Zavi? Ooh, actually, I do have an updated piece of information for you guys, too. So, originally in the FNAF canon stuff, people were very much pushing for Zavi to be able to eat. And I didn't really like that. I kind of went along with it because people thought it was funny. But I have changed that. So Zavi does not eat. However, what he does do is, it's basically like Cookie Monster logic, and we can thank G-Knight for this, actually, because G-Knight and I were talking about this earlier. So Zavi does not actually eat things. He will put them in his mouth and make a big show of, like, chomping down on it, but it all just kind of falls out of his mouth instead of, like, actually going inside of him. And he started doing this because there were some children in the children's ward that would, like, offer him their food, and they wanted to share with him. And instead of making them sad or denying it, he would just pretend to eat it and just and then, like, you know, the nurse would get pissed off because she'd have to clean it up. But it would make the children happy and it would make them giggle. So he doesn't eat, but he pretends to eat. What keeps Zavi and I suppose all of the bots at Star Palace? It's just kind of a feeling of knowing that they're owned, knowing that unfortunately they need to be there, because if they leave, it's kind of like tracking down stolen property. Like, they're technically not allowed to leave as long as the business is up and running. What is Zavi's on and off switch? It is actually inside of him. You have to open up a panel in his back in order to turn him on or off. Originally it was up under his hair and the back of his head, but then I also realized that that area is a little bit too easily accessed by pretty much anyone, so it is in a panel in the back of him. Zavi with Cookie Monster logic is the best thing. See, so Zavi technically doesn't really do puppet shows because that is something involving the new character. We'll get into that later. But he will, like, if kids have stuffed animals, he will, like, fiddle around with the stuffed animals and, like, do little voices with them and stuff like that. Susie, I'm gonna have you go ahead and rewatch it a little bit later, because it was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of things that I've already gone through. What state is it in? I haven't picked a state because I kind of just want it to be nebulous. I'll probably pick a state later, but for right now, it's just kind of a mystery. I love how excited everyone is over the Cookie Monster logic. It's just fun to imagine just Zavi just and just, like, crumbs flying everywhere, all over the sheets, all over everything. Is Zavi and the other robots at Star Palace considered property, or are they considered to be people/employees of the company? They are considered to be property, unfortunately. They do have... Their AI basically puts them on par with humans. So there's this big problem with them realizing that, you know, they do have thoughts and feelings, but they are still, unfortunately, property. Ohio doesn't exist. What are you talking about? Does he have any gadgets, like hands that dispense band-aids or push his nose and it has a different hairstyle? No, he does not. He's fully meant to be, like, a caretaker, but that also means that, like, he's supposed to be, like, really, like... Sorry, my brain just, like, blanked out in the middle of trying to describe that. There's nothing on him that could possibly, like, open or close that could, like, hurt somebody. And so, like, a dispenser that still, like, has the ability to pinch. He's supposed to be just very smooth overall. Snoozy, you're not stupid. It's fine. Sometimes we forget. Any more questions about Zavi? Before we move on to the fairy floss. As I just, like, suck down my coffee. Yeah, for sure Zavi's hair was the same color when he was a medical bot, too. Nothing other than, like, a little bit of his, like, face paint was really changed with that part of his appearance. It was mostly, like, his outfit that they changed. What made you decide to make Star Palace your own story instead of stay in FNAF? I just had too many ideas. And they were things that didn't fit into FNAF, and they didn't really fit into FNAF canon. Like, again, like, the entire, like, AI thing. The fact that they do have, like, thoughts and feelings, and there's just a lot. If he can't eat, what happens if he eats by accident? I mean, he doesn't. You don't really eat by accident. Headcanon voice for Zavi. There is no headcanon voice because Zavi has an official voice actor. He's been officially voice acted for a while now. There are, anything that you see with Zavi on my channel is his official voice actor, which is Reed Donut. And he will continue to be Zavi's voice. Aw. Mushi, I think you're gonna like the new character too when they eventually come out, but, yeah. I'm glad that people are starting to like clowns because of me and because of, like, other people that I know, just because, like, I love clowns, and I think clowns honestly do deserve a little bit more love, because they're usually just thought of as creepy, and there's so much more to them. There's so much more that you can do with them. Saucer Sauce, you missed an awful lot if you're just now asking who this is. Let's see. Not gonna lie, that's why I took my OCs out of FNAF. They didn't quite fit in either. Yeah, they won't really... Sorry, my brain blanked out again. I am so tired, my friends. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, that happens a lot, where, like, you'll create an OC for something, but then the OC grows. Even if they did fit into the universe at first, they grow to the point that they don't really fit anymore. And it's totally okay to take a character and, like, legitimately make a brand new story about it. Because, you know, you created that character, and it's not that hard to make a new world for them. Will this reference be shown to the public via Twitter with a lower res? Possibly in the future. I'm kind of waiting for all 3 reference images to be done before I start, like, showing them off. Reed is the best Zavi voice. That is true. Reed is literally perfect for Zavi, which is funny because he's not even doing either one of the headcanon voices that I originally had. He, like, kind of did his own thing, and I was like, you know what? No, I really like that. We're gonna go with that. I love it. And it's all rolled from there, and it's been so exciting to see this grow. Sophia says, oh, that's awesome. You're living me and a lot of people's dreams to have an official voice for an OC. I didn't actually realize how easy that would be. I didn't realize that I could waltz right up to YouTube voice actors and be like, hey, can I pay you to do this thing? And they will do it. So, like, there is a website, actually, as long as you're willing to pay, called Casting Call, that Reed and Doof have both shown me, and if you want to find voices for your characters, you can put up a casting call and people will audition. So just make sure you have money ready, because it's not fair to ask people to do it for free. There are like free projects on there that people are auditioning for, but just pay them what they're worth, please. Pay voice actors, because they deserve it. Voice acting is an art that is very underappreciated. I love how everyone's just talking about Reed's voice. It is a great voice. It's a beautiful voice. Who made Zavi? Does he have a mom or a dad? He was made by a company. He does not have a mom or a dad. He's a robot. Yeah, he was made by a specific company. Actually, all three bots in this canon are from different manufacturers. None of them, again, everything in here is a mishmash. So none of them are made by the same manufacturers. None of them have the same functions. They're just, it was whatever Star Palace could get their hands on in that moment. How did you come up with this clown? Characters just kind of burst into my head sometimes. His actual, like, look was inspired by multiple different things, like lots and lots of different things. There were lots of clown adoptables that I was looking at on DeviantArt, actually, that I really liked, but they were all sold, and so I took, like, itty-bitty bits and pieces from each one of them, and, like, a color palette that I really liked, and I shoved everything together, and then it still like grew into its own thing. And so that is where Zavi, technically, his design came from. Is the nose a light bulb? No, it is not. It is soft. It's soft and squeezable. Luca says, you're amazing. You're making an AI seem more human than the most human characters. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, each of the characters has an emotional arc that they have to go through. So, like, Zavi's is the craving for attention. How tall is Zavi? He is 9 feet tall, not counting the hat. So Zavi is 9 feet tall, Fairy Floss is 8 feet tall, and the new character is actually 6 feet tall. The new character is actually the smallest of the three. Make all the clowns. Yeah, do it. Make all the clowns. We love clowns here. Wait, for making fan OCs, can we make a robot or a human? You can make either. Because again, there's lots of different robots and robotics companies in this world. They are kind of like ingrained in with human life as something that's like relatively normal. They're cheap labor, things like that. Soft and squeezable nose, but not honkable. Yeah. How tall is he with the hat? Oh gosh, how tall even is that hat? With the hat, he's probably almost 10 feet tall. Last question, who created these robots AIs? That's a lot of information. I honestly still have to write some of that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be transparent. There's still some stuff that I haven't fully worked out the details of. There are multiple robotics companies. I feel like the AI came from one specific company, and then everybody else kind of built on top of that and just kept making it better and better. And then the problem with that is, again, they're very human at this point when it comes to their brains. Zavi is the best clown out there, and there's no question about it. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm glad Snoozy likes him so much. Are the Star Palace robots only clowns? The bots, yes, but again, there is technically another animatronic in one of the rides that has been shut down, who is a dragon, because he was from the previous theme of the building. So it's not being used though, because it's too dangerous, because people have died in there. I'll go into the dragon a little later, because the dragon's not really like any of the main characters. If anything, the dragon may have a side story that's just for funsies, but that doesn't really contribute like to the plot. It's definitely a little bit more on the horror side too. But yeah. But yeah, Zavi without hat is 9 feet tall. That hat probably adds a good, like, foot or so on him. What color is the dragon? I haven't picked yet, but I'm kind of thinking a red. I still have to go through and design the dragon, admittedly. Abby, I've stated multiple times Cloud is not included in this canon, and no, they were not brothers at all. Dragon... No, the dragon is not named Marshmallow. Alright, so at this point, is the audio drama in the point of view of a Your Name character, an original character, or does it flip from different perspectives? It is not in the point of view of a Your Name character, and it is actually, it's not really from anyone's point of view. It's kind of like a, what is it? I think it's called third person. I always fuck up whether it's third person or, it's not first person, because that's from, like, an actual point of view. It's like a normal book, basically, where, like, you're reading and you're seeing everything happening from, like, an outsider's point of view. How strong is Zavi? He's very strong. He could, if he grabbed your arm the wrong way, he would break it without even thinking twice. Like, he's very, very strong. Because he's also meant to help, move medical equipment. Let's see. Laren says, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the past, but Robot Clown was not an aesthetic I would have ever thought of, but now I cannot imagine life without. Right? I feel like the same way, honestly. I love third person. Thank you, Nex. It's gonna be written third person. But yeah, no, I feel the same way. Where, like, I liked clowns and I liked robots, and then somehow they got mashed together, and I'm like, wow, I love this, and I will never stop loving this. So yeah, that's why I have so many robotic clown characters now. Alright, so with that, we are going to go ahead and pop over to talking about Fairy Floss. Boink. With Fairy Floss's lovely, lovely new reference sheet, which I gave you guys a sneak peek of in the last stream that I did, because, you know, it was finished then. One day it'll actually show up for you guys, but... I forget that it's got, like, a good, like, 10-second delay on it. So by the time I'm talking about it, you probably will already have seen it, but... yeah. Aw, thank you, Snoozy. You're so sweet. So Fairy Floss, was one of the ones that was actually changed considerably more when it comes to her actual look. So her hair color was actually different in her previous state, and she also did not have the star on her forehead. Those were added in for Star Palace, and same thing with the pants that she has. Thank you guys. I'm glad everybody thinks she's so cute. So she actually was in a theater. So she has the stretchy arms and the stretchy midsection so that she can help with all of the theater tech stuff. So she can adjust the lights without having to actually really, like, go anywhere. She can just stretch herself up. And then she also, she could actually be included in the performances. Now, part of the problem here is that she has a programming that basically forces her to fall in love, quote-unquote in love, with whoever the lead is, whoever the lead role is, because they felt like that would make her acting more genuine. And so this becomes a problem when she is in Star Palace, because you have Zavi and the new character constantly fighting over who gets to be the lead. So this is causing her programming to flip back and forth between who she's quote-unquote in love with, and she doesn't like this because she recognizes the fact that these are false emotions, and she hates feeling these false emotions, and she's trying to work through that and essentially break out of that programming so that she can feel her own actual emotions. She has Tinkerbell hips. Yes, she does. She has very big hips. I wanted her to be very bottom heavy, so she has teeny tiny little booblets and very big hips, which is also so that when she stretches herself, she is bottom heavy. She can anchor herself. But yeah, we got any questions about Fairy Floss? Oh yeah, originally too, the hair color that they gave her when she was in the theater was blonde, and then I'm thinking about making it so that she also originally had brown eyes and they changed her eyes out, but that's not official yet, that's just a thing. But yeah, no, so basically Star Palace added in the pink and the blue, and they added the star onto her forehead because everybody has to have stars in Star Palace. Super cute and thick. She is thick. Jesus, having that kind of programming sounds like hell. It is. It is. She has a really hard time working with it because she wants to be able to be herself, and when you're forced to fall in love with someone that you're not actually in love with, like, that does, like, change you. Fairy, my beloved, perfect time to get back. Yay! Welcome back. What was Fairy Floss before she was in Star Palace? So I just covered that, so we're good on that one. She was the theater hand, and also was in the theater productions. When she hits the ground, it'll make the earth quake. Gosh, that's inconvenient for her. So do Zavi and the new character not get along, or is it just the leading? How often would Fairy participate in these performances? So the three of them do participate in performances very frequently together. And in this case, it's not even necessarily a lead as in, like, a lead of a play. It's literally, like, who's in charge of the performances. And the two of them, they don't get along at all at first, until they, I'm not going to get into this plot point because it will spoil something that I feel like everyone will be really into reading and listening to when it comes out. But they do legitimately, like, basically hate each other until they have a moment of bonding. And then they finally start kind of getting along. Despite her programming, who would she like more genuinely? See, the thing is, she actually will like them both pretty equally. Does Fairy Floss have a VA yet, or are you her VA? I will be her VA, mostly because of budgeting. It's gonna cost a lot to do a lot of this stuff, and so I am going to go ahead and just do it myself, because that will help out a lot in budgeting. How tall is Fairy Floss? She is 8 feet tall. So Zavi is 9 feet tall, Fairy Floss is 8 feet tall, and the new character is 6 feet tall. Wait, are there any climbing trapeze rod things for her long arms to latch onto? There is stuff like that. So, Zavi is going to specialize in, like, tightrope, like high wire, and contortion axe, actually. And then, Fairy is going to be doing a lot of aerial stuff as well because of the, abilities that her arms has. Have you designed the new character? I have. The new character does have a design. You guys will see the design another time, though. So you will be getting, the name drop, near the end of the stream, and some information about them, but the actual design will be later because I'm waiting for the reference sheet to be finished. Fairy Floss out here having the Pixar mom hips. Yeah, I wanted her to have Pixar mom booty because I love Pixar mom booty. Zavi with his ever-increasing amount of enemies. So Fairy Floss and Cloud not a thing anymore. Again, guys, I keep saying it over and over again. Cloud is not present in this canon. Cloud is Frazzy's character, and we are no longer doing the collaboration. Never expected to hear someone at 6 foot tall to be the short one of the group. Yeah. Yeah, that new character is technically the shortest one out of the three. They are still taller than a good majority, you know, of humans, but they are the shortest of the three of them. As I spill water all down my front. You know, I have a hole in my lip. I knew you were going to ask that next. Is there a special package rich guests can pay to get bottle service from Fairy Floss? Yeah, you can rent out either the entire building, or you can rent out, like, certain rooms, like big party rooms, basically, to have functions in. So there are businesses who do that, and you can pay to have any of the bots there, actually, for extra entertainment. But Fairy's function for that is bottle service, so she's the one who's mixing and pouring the drinks at their tables. Yes, make those clowns. Do it. Sorry, stretching. I must stretch. But yeah, Fairy's a lot of fun in that respect because that's the thing. Her part to play is literally that she is token girl. And that's what's really sad about it, is she's just expected to be the pretty one. She's just expected to be the girl, the one who's like the maiden, the damsel in distress kind of thing. And that's something that she has to break out of because she doesn't want to be just that. She wants to be like her own being. Could I have bottle service from Zavi? Yeah. Oh my god. Everybody's just like, Zavi, bottle service. Okay, but like, honestly, Zavi would be great at flaring as well. Zavi and, Fairy would be great at that. So flaring is when you, the bartender will like throw everything around and make a show out of mixing the drinks. And because Zavi has 4 arms, he'd be pretty good at that. Is it only her arms that stretch? It's her arms and her midsection. So, like, in between the 2 black and white pieces, you'll see there's just that area that's just black. That also stretches. So, like, her entire upper half can stretch upwards. Her legs do not stretch. It's just her midsection and her arms. And that way, the legs are there to keep her stable when she is stretching. How many parent complaints do they get because of her? What do you mean parent complaints? The dads are staring. And honestly, so some of the moms probably are too. I will say that Zavi's definitely the heartthrob of Star Palace. He definitely gets the most attention, but that's because he fights for that attention. Wait, can I rent out both the new character and Zavi for bottle service of the private party? Oh my god. Sure, next if you want to. Heck, I'd probably pay to be in the same room as Zavi if I had to. Oh my god, Susie. What is the maximum length that Fairy Floss can stretch? So her midsection can probably stretch up to a good 30 feet because she has to be able to get up to, all of the lights and everything. And her arms can probably stretch a good, up to like 25-ish feet. They can stretch pretty high, because she basically think like 2 to 3 stories she could stretch up. But just keep in mind that like the higher up she goes, the less stable she is. So she never actually tends to go that high, but she can. Zavi and Fairy making a big bottle show. I just got the mental imagery of them literally like juggling bottles back and forth between each other. They're just like throwing them to each other. But that's the thing, Zavi and Fairy Floss have no bad blood between them because Fairy does give him a lot of attention and she's an enabler. So, she doesn't rub him the wrong way. So he would be more than willing to do stuff with her. Zavi would make a good waiter. He could hold 4 quadruple deep dish Hawaiian pizzas at once. I mean, you're not wrong. I know what you mean, Verity. Verity says, the program to fall in love thing is already fascinating narratively and thematically. I love it. Well, I don't. You know what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. It makes you sad, but it also intrigues you. I will say Zavi also does definitely spend private time with people. If you catch my drift, we're gonna leave it at that. Again, he is desperate for attention. He really is, because he's searching for a kind of attention that he doesn't know how to get. God damn, G-Knight! You thirsty! Nikki says I'd pay extra to just, wait, to have just my birthday alone with just Zavi. You can't deny it now, G-Knight. You can't deny it. I know what you were asking. Does Fairy have shock absorbers, or does she have to lower herself to the ground gently? She would have shock absorbers in her legs, just in case. She's not really supposed to jump down. She's supposed to, like, lower herself, but it's kind of like a just-in-case thing, in case there is, like, a fall. She does have shock absorbers. In the Star Palace world, did the bots have pre-recorded voice lines from an actor, or does their AI come up with what they say? So it's kind of, it's a mixture of the two, where, like, so basically, think Vocaloid, where the program can make the voice say whatever, but there was an original, like, voice actor who recorded certain things in order for the AI to be able to pick up on that voice. So, it's basically like Vocaloid, but more flawless. There's no, it doesn't sound weird. It doesn't sound unnatural. So yeah, TLDR, somebody else did originally do the voice, but they come up with original phrases. They're not pre-recorded phrases. Snoozy says, I have no comment on private time with Zavi for reasons. I know what you're thinking, Snoozy. I know what you're thinking. I can read your mind. Can they read? Yes, they can read. They kind of have to read. Vocaloid Plus, if you will. What reasons, Snoozy? Oh, we know what reasons. Yeah, they actually, they don't even really have, so Fairy does have a little bit more of a metallic sound to her voice, but the others sound much more natural because, in a way, their AI is actually more, advanced. At least their system programming for the vocal area is. We all have our reasons for private parties with the bots. It's not irrelevant, Snoozy. I know what you're thinking. I know. I know you. Alrighty, does everybody have any more questions about Fairy Floss before we get to a bit of a reveal? Waiting patiently. For curiosity, does that dragon animatronic have an AI, or is it just pre-programmed sort of deal? So it's a little bit of a mixture of both. It has pre-programmed motions that get triggered when because it's actually from a water ride. So think like Pirates of the Caribbean, but like dragons in medieval. Because again, this is from like a previous theme that the building used to have. So it does have triggered motions, but it also has slight AI. That would make it so that, like, the motions were a little bit different every time, or it could, like, say slightly different things. And the problem with this is it's kind of stupid in that regard. So it legitimately, like, feels as though that area is its home, and it doesn't want anyone trespassing because it's programmed to be a dragon, and that's all it knows, and it doesn't learn, at all. Unlike the others who all learn. Can the robots tell the difference between a child and an adult, even if the adult has a baby face? Yeah, oh yeah. The robots can tell the difference between adults and children very easily. It'd be kind of concerning if they couldn't. Does this place invite people to influence their numbers to show off their bots and to bring more people in? Like YouTubers or influencers. It probably would, honestly. That's not really anything that's going to be the focus of the story, but I can definitely see them doing that because any money is good money, and influencers do tend to bring in a pretty good amount of people. So Zavi smells like lavender. Does Fairy have a scent too? Cotton candy, perhaps. Okay, so this is going to sound really weird, but I feel like, so Fairy smells like pennies and sugar. So, like, did any of you ever used to suck on pennies as a kid? Like, that weird, like, metallic taste? Or, like, if you've just, like, smelled something that's just, like, straight up metallic? Like, that's what I feel like she smells like. She smells like that nice kind of, like, tinny metallic smell with a little bit of sugar mixed in. Is the company corrupt at all? They don't care about their workers, if that's what you mean. They really don't care about much at all, except for making money. They are willing to take shortcuts. They really don't care about guest service as much as they probably should. They are pretty cheap, and that's the thing. A lot of the Bob Ross, I smell pennies. I love that meme. That's great. But yeah, they are pretty cheap. I'm kind of running off of the knowledge I have of like theme parks and working at theme parks, where like things definitely are not maintained as well as they should be, but they kind of put on the air of we maintain it, so they don't care as little as the Fazbear company does, because Fazbear just doesn't give a shit about maintaining the image that they care, whereas these guys like at least pretend to. Pennies and sugar somehow sounds incredibly nice, right? I just don't judge me, Verity. I don't know. When I was a kid, if there was like a really nice, like clean, shiny penny, for some reason I would suck on it because I would never swallow it, but I really liked that copper taste, and so like that's like it has like a nice smell to it too, and I kind of wish that I could figure out how to like either like get like a candle made or like a perfume, like a spray or something, because I feel like pennies and sugar would be a really nice thing. Which she's saying defying gravity. Oh my god. That's the thing, because I'm her VA, for budget reasons, and I definitely have to take singing classes before I sing anymore for her. I don't know if I could ever actually sing that song. It requires a lot of belting, and I have asthma, which means that I have a hard time belting. Does she give nice hugs? Yeah, she does give nice hugs. She'll wrap her entire arms around you, like multiple times, and squeeze you. That would definitely make an interesting candle scent, right? Especially if you add in like that like slightly natural like soy smell that like soy candles have. I feel like it would be a nice candle smell. Oh yeah, G-Night, what reasons would those be that you would like to rent out Fairy? But yeah, I'm amused that you guys asked what she smells like, because I literally was thinking about that last night. I really liked that copper taste. Maybe Calen is a vampire. Actually, I think I'm slightly anemic. I think that's why I liked the copper taste. Man, if I was a vampire, I'd be fucked. I grew up in Las Vegas. I'm living in Florida. It's all sun. Ooh, okay. Next says, Calen, I'll talk to you after the stream about candle stuff. I had an idea, need to run it by you. Now I'm curious. I am very curious about that. Me just casually trying to, like, see if you've already sent anything. And then meanwhile, Mango is sending me Lord of the Rings gifts. Reasons, don't worry about it. I need to know. Come on. Can people make OCs based on the concept? Yeah, you can make fan characters. Can I buy Zavi? You cannot buy Zavi himself. You can buy other robots that are made from the same robotics company, but you can't buy Zavi. I feel when I'm like, should I make robot adaptables? Snoozy, you talking facts here. Kids would definitely bite her, especially 2-year-olds. Yeah, they probably would, honestly. But she wouldn't really care all that much. It's not like they're gonna hurt her. It's not like they can put dents in her. She'd probably be more worried about their teeth than anything. You'll type up something in a sec? Okay, yeah, I'm curious now. Do appliances have googly eyes? You know what? Yes. I love googly eyes. Oh my gosh, I just got the imagery of her running around and putting googly eyes on everything in Star Palace, because that would be hilarious. Like the arcade machines and like the ovens in the kitchen. There's just googly eyes everywhere. Someone gave her a pack of them. That's what happened. Someone gave her a pack of googly eyes and she ran around and stuck them everywhere. Verity says, I'd rent Fairy just to sort of bask in her general presence and vibe. She does give good vibes. She is very friendly, very happy. Or at least, like, presents herself as very happy. Y'all are thirsty. It's okay, though. We'll be thirsty together. Very, very thirsty. I mean, when the two of them have the hips that they have, you can't really, like, blame anybody for being thirsty. In this world, can people keep robots as pets? Okay, pets is a weird phrase, but yes, people can buy household robots. Now, the household robots are, not usually as advanced in AI. Those are very, very expensive. So the main reason as to why Star Palace managed to not only get a hold of one with this advanced of an AI, but also, like, got 3 of them is because, again, they were refurbished. They were all resold, and when they're resold, it means they're, you know, they're a little bit older, and, you know, they're not quite as advanced. But yeah, no, so, like, household robots will range between having very, very minimal AI and basically just being kind of dumb, to, like, they're very, very expensive if you want the ones with the advanced learning AIs. Okay, now that Zavi's hips are relevant, may I just say, damn! I love how, when, let me pull his reference sheet back up here real quick. Boink. Just put him on top of Fairy Floss for, like, just a second. I love how, when, this design was being done for the reference sheet, I showed it to Mango, and Mango's first comment was, "This bitch built like a wasp!" And then they just kind of moved on. Alright. Back down it goes. I needed it for the comment. But, Mushi says, I feel like there won't just be big name companies, but small ones too, like a bunch of friends in robotics trying to start their own business. Oh yeah, there absolutely would be. Robotics is big in this world, so, if you want to, like, make big money, robotics is definitely the way to go. And so there's going to be the big name companies, and then there's also going to be the people who are, it's kind of like when, you see people, like, building their own gaming computers. There are people who try to build their own bots, by picking up, like, you know, parts from other places and picking up parts from, like, refurbished bots and things like that. Next says, all the bots have amazing hips, would smash all 3, gotta say. I didn't actually mean to give the new one hips like that. I just apparently just design hips. I'm not gonna repeat the comment that Next said as soon as they saw me designing this new character, because it was funny as hell. But I don't know if I should say it out loud. Is this world taking place in the future? It's not necessarily, like, in the future, it's just a different universe where, like, technology has advanced further. Zavi's really tall. Yeah, he is. Look how this man's is built. Yeah, he built. He very built. Ooh, I like the idea that Nex had. That's all I'm gonna say. Do you... I mean, if you feel comfortable saying it, you can say it, Nex. You can say what you thought the instant you saw this new character's hips. I ain't gonna say it out loud, because... You say it if you want to. I'm just waiting to see if Nex actually types it. Can Fairy Floss climb on walls? She doesn't really climb on walls. She's much more likely to, like, swing from things from the ceiling, or, like, jump from, you know, swing from a balcony down to the floor. The thirst is fighting to escape my moral vessel, I can tell you that. Well, you can see right there, Nex's comment, you can see how thirsty Nex was. Nikki says, I imagine that Zavi looks better in a Jessica Rabbit dress than Fairy Floss. I don't know. Fairy Floss definitely got the hips, but Zavi's definitely got that hourglass shape going on. What do the bots' rooms look like? So I have to design those still. I'm working on it. Again, I have to find somebody who actually specializes in background so we can get a visual representation of it. Zavi's is mostly purple, I can tell you that. the new character is it's very dark. I'll get into that in a minute. When we actually start talking about the new character, I will get into a little bit more of that. And then Fairies is definitely like, again, stereotypical girl. I feel like her room looks very much like what you would consider a Barbie room to look like. It's very pink. It's very just feminine, very girl, because again, she is token girl. Yeah, you guys really like the new OC. Alright, so at this point, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the new characters. I'm gonna pull Fairy Floss's reference back. Again, you guys don't get to see the new character just yet, but I will talk about them. I'm waiting for the reference sheet to be finished so that they all matched. I do have an image of them, but it's literally just like the concept art until we get the actual reference image done. So, the new character's name is actually Mirage, because they are a mirage of happiness. So, this character is the character that was made to take over Cloud's spot in the canon, which Frazzy and I have already talked about. And so this character does actually have two different faces, because Mirage is based off of the comedy and tragedy masks. And so the two of them, it starts off as just a singular AI. And the thing is, they are also very theater-based, very performance-driven. They are a puppeteer, so they have little hand puppets that they carry around with them, and they also not only work with marionettes, but they make marionettes. They actually have a little whittling knife that they carry around with them, because they will actually hand carve and make wooden marionettes. And so when it comes to their head, they have the happy face, and they also, it spins. It has what I call the quick change mechanism. And so the entire head will spin around in a circle, the wig will shift around, and then you will see the sad face, which has a little like broken heart on it. And the thing is, this, what are Mirage's pronouns? It is they, them. So we have a boy robot with Zavi, we have a girl robot with Fairy Floss, and we have ourselves a good non-binary robot with Mirage. So we got some good representation flowing here. And so yeah, Mirage actually is not allowed to show that sad side in Star Palace. And so what the technicians have done is they put a little peg in the back of Mirage's neck, just under their head, where they would normally be able to spin and do the quick change into the sad face, and they are stuck permanently in that happy face, unfortunately. And the thing is too, their face does not move anywhere near as much as Zavi and Fairy Floss's does. So Zavi and Fairy Floss can fully emote. Mirage can blink, their mouth can move to talk, and they have like eyebrows that can move. But otherwise, they actually cannot turn their smile into basically anything else. And the inside of their eyes is black, the inside of their mouth is black. So they really don't emote very well when it comes to the face. And the technicians also put a hood on them, as a little jester hood, so that no one can see the little peg that's in the back of their neck, because again, they're only allowed to show their happy, positive emotions. And so unfortunately, their negative emotions get very buried down inside of them. And so they can sometimes use the puppets to get it out, so they'll have like the puppets talk and in different little voices and stuff like that, but even that is very limited based on the company being like, hey, you can't do that, you're just supposed to be happy. Yes, next you can say their name now. But yeah. I'm glad you guys are very excited. Clown Camel, what are you talking about? I am confused. So I will actually, for those of you who are a part of my Patreon, I will post their original design in my Discord server under the Patreon only area. And so you guys will get to see a sneak peek of what Mirage looks like before the reference image comes out. So you'll get to see the original image. I'll be doing that right after the stream is over. And Mirage will actually be voice acted by Doof, Captain Doofkin. And we're actually, after the stream is over, immediately going to be jumping into a call to work on what their voice is going to sound like, because I have lots of different ideas, and we're going to work that out and get the official voice. Can I call Mirage Mira as a nickname? I mean, you could if you wanted to. What does their body look like? Is it humanoid? Oh yeah, all 3 of the clowns are humanoid shaped. I already love them. I can't wait to see their design. Yay! We'll probably do another stream to properly introduce them when they are ready. There will be a little like sneak peek voice thing coming out once Doof and I work out their voice that I think you guys will be very excited about, and it will also have like a silhouette of what they look like, but you won't get to see the full design just yet. They're very fun. I really like how their outfit turned out, honestly. They still have stars on them, but their color palette has a lot more, like, reds in it than the other 2. They wound up a lot more goth than I thought they were gonna. And they have very fluffy hair. There's definitely a lot of horror inspirations that went into them, too. So, like, they kind of, the way that their face, wound up, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Blade from the Puppet Master series, and a little bit of Ghostface, and also the head spinning. I didn't even realize until I started looking through Puppet Master again that there is actually a jester character in Puppet Master who does something similar, only his that character's face is cut into 3 sections and those will spin, but that's more of a magic thing. This whole concept is insane for a children's mascot. Well, originally it wasn't a children's mascot, Luca. Remember, as I stated earlier, all of these characters were from other companies. They were refurbished. They were just bought and pulled into this thing and just like thrown in as a mishmash. So that's why none of them are supposed to fit in together. That's like how it works in the story is they just got what they could. So they are from different things. For some reason, I imagine your 3 animatronics making an entrance similar to May's aunts from Turning Red. Oh my god, that would be amazing. I need to see that now. How many prongs will the jester's comb have? You mean his hat? 2. It's gonna be a 2-horned jester hat. I'm just picturing that now. I want to see the auntie entrance. That would be amazing. I still want to see, this was originally going to be with a different character, but I would love to see it with Mirage at Femboy Hooters and Zavi at Goth IHOP. That would be so much fun to see drawn out. Because Mirage definitely be looking like that. I'm very excited for you guys to eventually get to see them. That will be a lot of fun. In fact, I can actually probably drop that in the sneak peek area now. You know, once my computer stops freezing, I can do that. Oh my god, Snoozy. I mean, if you do attempt to animate that entrance, I would love to see it. I really would. I would adore seeing that. Because, Snoozy, I love your art. Oh my god. Where is it? Sorry, I'm trying to outright get the original concept design so that I can pop it into the sneak peek area. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing sneak peeks of things, if you join my Patreon for just like $5 a month, you can see those sneak peeks. There we go. They are now in sneak peeks. The best amount. Ooh, actually I don't have a hashtag yet. You could probably just use the hashtag Star Palace. Let me double check and see if yeah, the Discord is Patreon only currently. Let me double check and see if that hashtag is being used, because we could probably use that as a hashtag. Ew, gross. Apparently there's an NFT that's using Star Palace, so... That's real gross. You know what? Let's use hashtag Star Palace and flood out all that shitty NFT stuff. Because screw NFTs. That's disgusting. I have a feeling Zavi and Fairy Floss would love pinching cheeks. She definitely would. I feel like Zavi is much more prone to squishing cheeks. He'll like grab your face and just like squish your cheeks together. Why would you need concept art for a drama? Because I need backgrounds for, because if it's a YouTube video, I don't want just a black background. Star Palace above or below ground? It is above ground. To hell with NFTs, right? To hell with NFTs. Let's flood this. Flood it with all of your Star Palace stuff. This is much more fun. Clowns over NFTs any day. Fuck NFTs. They suck. I love how somebody at one point was like, are you gonna make NFTs? And I'm like, no. Why would I? Mind is boggled with Zavi. Excitement is overloading and I'm hyped. I'm glad you guys are so hyped. I'm very excited for this. I'm actually gonna be taking a few days off. What is it? Is it next week? Hold on, let me look at the calendar. Oh shit, yeah, it's next week. I'm taking a few days off next week in order to sit down and hardcore do some writing and getting some stuff out there so that I can really start getting this project off the ground. I'm gonna be putting out a feeler looking for people who can do logo design. I'm gonna be putting out a feeler looking for people who can do like background design. I'm probably gonna start doing some fundraising to get all of that stuff done, because also I would really like to commission some custom music for all of this stuff. I really want like an opening theme song. I think that would be a lot of fun. So there are gonna be some like fundraisers coming up. So if you guys want to donate, my coffee is down below. Or you could also join my Patreon. There's lots of ways that you could help. You can also definitely help by like getting the word out there. Like, do it, draw fan art, like tell people about it, like share things with each other and just like show it, you know, because I really need to get this out there. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited to show it to you guys. Will we ever have an audio of Zavi and your name? See, I don't really want to do that because a lot of people, unfortunately, do your names very wrong. They still turn a your name into a character, and a your name has to be bland enough that you can feel like you're actually in that story. If I get enough fundraising, I might do something like that, but I'm focusing on the actual storytelling currently. That's where all of my focus is going to go into, and you guys got to keep in mind I have to pay Reed for all of his voice lines. This stuff is not cheap. And it shouldn't be cheap because they should get paid for their time. But yeah, so if people are willing to donate to get an audio of Zavi into your name, then I can definitely have Reed do something like that. But it is not currently in the books. Time to relentlessly draw fan art. Do it, Snoozy, do it! Yeah, where's that snazzy art, Snoozy? Where is it? Where is it? We're gonna hound you every single stream. You promised to show it to me. Come on. It's been months, dude. You told me months ago that you had like over 20 drawings and I want to see them. Artists of all type are worth the cost. Exactly. That is very, very true. All artists should be paid for their time. Never expect someone to do something for you for free. Snoozy.
Snoozy. Where is it, Snoozy? Where's that fan art, Snoozy?
Where's the ship art, Snoozy? I know you've drawn yourself and Zavi making out. Where is it?
Where is it?
We want to see it, Snoozy. Snoozy, you can't promise me things and not deliver. Come on. That's the thing, too. If you guys want to self-ship with these characters, you are more than welcome to, as long as you are being respectful about it and you recognize that it is not canon. Do the robot rooms have beds or do they shut down on the floor? They do technically have something akin to a bed in each one of them. So for Mirage, it's more like a fainting couch because they're dramatic. Zavi has a, if you guys know what a conversation pit is, he has one of those, but it's filled to the brim with like pillows and like blankets and stuff like that. Fairy Floss definitely has, again, a very Barbie-esque room, so it's something that looks very pink and frilly.
Where is it, Snoozy? Where is it?
I'm so glad you like their design so much, Nex. I love watching Nex and Gina get really excited about this. Come on, Snoozy. Come on. Give us the art. Come on, Snoozy. Snoozy, please. We are literally begging you. I don't understand why you feel so embarrassed. We've been begging you for months. Pestering Snoozy for the art would have been on the bingo if we started it way later. I feel like at this point we should put it on bingo. I don't think we finished the bingo sheet, did we? I love the idea of a conversation pit filled with plushies and pillows. Oh my god, can you also imagine if there was squishmallows in there? Squishmallows would make the perfect thing to put in there. So just pillows and blankets and something akin to a squishmallow as I look over at my like 20-inch axolotl squishmallow. Wait, do they have nerves? You mean, can they feel? They can feel pressure. It depends. Each individual bot's a little bit different. So, like, Zavi actually has the most ability to feel out of all of them. That's because he had to because of his medical training. Fairy definitely feels the least because she's just used to having to, like, you know, be the hired help along with being on stage. Mirage can feel to a certain extent because they have to feel out the wood that they're carving. But that's more of, like, they can feel, like, how soft or hard something is. That's true, we did not add it instead of the spontaneous mango sighting, right? Snoozy, Snoozy, please. You have no idea how badly I want to see this. This is why I beg you, every single time you come into a stream, I want to see it so bad, and it makes me so sad that I never get to see them. Like, I'm legitimately sad. Zavi's best clown. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like Zavi. I'm glad you like all of them, honestly. I'm really excited to see how people react when they get to finally see Mirage for the first time. See, Snoozy, you literally have nothing to worry about because I know that all of your art is respectful. Like, you're not drawing anything that's, like, weird. I do not consider self-ship art weird. I really don't. The conversation pit bed must be given to Zavi says. Oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge because he has to be able to fit in there. I also love the idea of there being, like, sheer curtains that kind of, like, come down kind of like a, almost like a mosquito net kind of thing, and they've got stars on them. So it's like a soft, like, purple sheer with stars. And that kind of, like, goes around the conversation pit. It's, like, open in the front, but I have so many things that I've envisioned that I cannot put onto paper. That's why I must pay someone else to do it. Verity, don't judge me. That's not what I meant, but you know what? Oh my god. G-Knight. You guys are so thirsty. Next, Verity, I'm judging you. I'm not actually judging you, but I'm kind of judging you. Branded Squishmallows of the characters would be great. Oh my god, I would love a Squishmallow of all of them, honestly. Can you imagine, like, a literally, like, a lavender-scented Squishmallow for Zavi? So do you guys actually have any questions about Mirage? Because I let you ask questions about the other two. So do you have any questions about the new character that you don't get to see just yet? They're 6 feet, they're small. I'm curious. Yeah. I will actually say, because I'm sure somebody will ask it, I have considered what Mirage smells like. So because of the fact that they also, like, make the marionettes and they do, like, sew puppets and stuff like that, I actually kind of feel like Mirage would smell like wood, if that makes sense. Like a really nice, like, almost like a pine wood. So they smell like wood and a little bit of, like, there's, like, a little bit of a paint smell in there, but, like, a nice paint, like an acrylic paint rather than, like, a chemical paint. Can we get an idea of Mirage's color scheme? They are primarily reds. There is actually a color palette that I used on Google that I found called Clown Blood, and I changed it a little bit, but it's some of the colors from that are actually Mirage's color palette. I knew you wanted to know what Mirage smelled like. What is their relationship with Zavi? It is not good at first. It is really not good at first. And then it does get better after something else happens. What are your inspirations for Mirage? So I kind of mentioned that earlier. That is the comedy and tragedy masks for sure. Masks in general. I love masks, and so there's a lot of mask-related things in there. And puppets, like puppetry, because they are a puppeteer. They make the marionettes. They make little hand puppets. So there are a lot of horror inspirations in there as well, and I'm trying not to go a full horror route with them, but it's so easy to do so. They might get a little spooky. Wood smells good. Wood does smell good, and they work with it a lot. Are they going to perform with Zavi and Fairy Floss? They are. They are going to perform in some of the shows. They are going to be a little bit of the comedic relief, and they are actually they are a storyteller. So they are going to tell stories with their puppets, and that's going to be a little bit more of like their own personal performance. But they will perform all together in the main show. What do you mean by not good? Do they not get along? Yeah, no, they don't get along. They fight over who gets to be the lead. Mirage went into this with the idea of, looks like, you know, we can be friends. We could be friends together and, like, work together. And they were kind of, like, hoping that they could lean on Zavi a little bit and Fairy Floss. And then Zavi immediately started being a little bit of a dick because he didn't want to be replaced as, like, you know, essentially, like, the main bot. And then the two of them started, like, fighting with each other, basically. So Mirage basically smells like a Home Depot. A little bit. I guess you could phrase it like that. Who is the leader of Star Palace? Do you mean the bots, or like who owns it? If you're looking at the actual bot, Zavi kind of like puts himself in the place of the leader. He is the leader of the troop. He insists on it. What would happen if Mirage were to get hacked? He's got a whittling knife, and that's all I'm gonna say. There would definitely be some violent impulses that he's been, like, hiding. Or they've been hiding. It would not be good. Aggressively looks up Clown Blood. Hopefully it pulls it up. That's what it's called. When I was looking for color palettes. Wait, has Mirage got built-in tools? What does that mean? You guys gotta be a little bit more clear about the questions sometimes. I do not understand. They carry a whittling knife, but that doesn't mean that it's like part of them. They work with tools. It's not inside of them. What kinds of marionettes does Mirage make? Like humanish or animals or just anything they think of? Pretty much anything they think of. Can Mirage control other toys and dolls? No. They work with puppets. It's not like an actual like control thing. They're more like the actual like you know, classic marionettes. Why would robots have gender? So that people can relate to them. Because it's better for your audience to actually be able to relate to your characters. So that's why, just as an example, there's a game that I really love called Nights into Dreams, and the character Nights, canonically, is gender fluid. They can be whatever gender you deem them to be, because the creator wanted you to be able to connect with them on an emotional level. And so whatever makes you feel most comfortable, they can be. And so that's why these robots have been assigned specific genders, because it makes it easier for them to relate with their audience and for the audience to relate to them. It sounds like Mirage has the potential of stabbing a man, and I'm concerned. Mirage can work with their hands. Yes, they can, Gene. I know what you were saying. Abby, I've already answered that question like 3 times. Gina, you are so thirsty this stream. It amuses me. I am not judging, it just amuses me. Snoozy says, all I have now in my head of Mirage and Zavi's relationship is being them aggressively flipping each other off until they're out of eye shot. Yeah? Yeah, I can see that. I love the idea of Zavi first learning how to flip someone off and just, like, flipping them off with all 4 hands. How does Mirage feel about being a performer? See, Mirage does love being a performer. They live for it. That is their thing. They love telling stories. They love doing their little puppet shows. They do definitely like doing the puppet shows a little bit more than doing the actual, like, circus acts, because it allows them to expand to their full creativity. They have a very creative AI system, and they love telling stories and, like, watching people's faces light up at certain portions of the story. I think it'd really cool, actually, if they also do paper puppetry at times. They primarily work with the normal puppets, though, so like the little hand puppets or the marionettes, but they do know how to do the paper puppetry. So, like, basically, for those of you who don't know, paper puppetry is like, it's like shadow puppets, but more intense. So your puppets are made out of paper, and you can move specific pieces of them behind another sheet of paper, and there's a light that puts the shadow up there. Goodness, Gene, down bad, I see. It is true. It is true. If we were talking about being thirsty, then Zavi is a tall drink of water everyone needs. Zavi is more than willing to be that drink of water. He is ready. Verity says 90% of the people here haven't even seen Mirage yet, but simping still springs up based on just their vibe alone. This is the true Moon Bunnies experience. Oh my god, I'm so happy you guys like them already. That made me very, very happy. Next says Verity, just wait, it gets worse once you see them. They're so cute. Yeah, especially because, again, I've paid Frazzy to do the reference sheet, and Frazzy is already simping over this character and already did a doodle of them, and it's very cute. Like, it looks even better. And they're gonna be, everyone's gonna love this design, I feel like. I feel like some people are gonna get a little creeped out by the face, but a lot of people are really, really gonna like it. Snoozy says, gosh, my thirst for Zavi, beloved, is relentless. Yeah, it is. G-Knight says, it's not my fault the Mirage is built with my weaknesses. That's true. Mirage has, like, knee-high boots that I jokingly call hooker boots. their face is basically a mask, and G-Knight loves masks and boots. And they are most likely, I'm not going to promise anything right now, but they are most likely to have a British accent, which just kills G-Knight. So, like, everything about this character, G-Knight is just down bad for. How much did you pay Frazzy? I feel like Frazzy doesn't take enough money, honestly, but I paid Frazzy $70 for each reference image. You should always pay a pretty good amount for your reference images because there's multiple images on there. So, does Star Palace have themed food for each character? Like, for churros, Zavi's four-armed noodles for Fairy Floss, and gingerbread marionettes for Mirage. They will have themed foods. Not quite like that, but they will, because it's the overall Star Palace has like themed foods. But that's also just because I'm a sucker for, like, if you look in like Japanese culture at like their theme parks and their like cute little themed cafes, I love the idea of having stuff like that in there. Now I imagine Mirage saying hello there. What? Can they eat? No, they cannot eat. They are robots. They cannot eat. Verity says, well, today I learned that G-Knight and I have literally the same exact taste, and Mirage will definitely end me. Yeah. Because I also have my other character, Eerie. Her full name is Erangone, and she has a mask face and has a British accent, and G-Knight is just, like, wrecked with her. G-Knight simped so hard over her. That was, like, how we started bonding in the first place when we met, was just G-Knight simping over Eerie. Can the robots break down and not work anymore? They can, actually. If they are not maintained well enough, they can break down. Just like anything, really. Like, even your own body can break down if it's not taken care of, if you don't do maintenance on yourself, which is, like, eating and drinking and, you know, sleeping and just, like, legitimately doing, like, self-care, like, help stuff. Like, the bots still have to have their, you know, their seasonal maintenance done. They have to be careful not to overexert themselves because they can break things. Ah, the hello there thing is probably Star Wars because Obi-Wan uses an English... Oh, I literally just watched that movie last night. Okay, I understand now. Do not bring Eerie into this. I'm already thirsting so much. You love Eerie, though. I love raiding for Eerie. It's been a while. I would like to break back into doing that again. That's the thing. If I can get Star Palace off the ground and... get this going, there's a chance that I can return to all of the Gartha stuff that I was working on, and Eerie will be a reality. I agree, Snoozy. Do it, G-Knight. Thirst. Does Mirage have a clown nose, or is it the basic comedy mask? They do actually have a clown nose. It is a dark one, actually. It's nearly black, but not quite black, because I didn't want it to blend in with their eyes and their mouth. But yeah, they can blink, so there's like white eyelids that can blink. They can move their eyebrows a little bit, but again, they can't really emote otherwise, so their mouth is like kind of stuck in the smile. We all being thirsty here. Dude, my channel was built on being thirsty, so like I am not gonna judge people for being thirsty. I think it's fun. Do what makes you happy. It's not hurting anyone if you're thirsty. What do you think I'm doing, Eerie, my beloved? Yeah? Does Star Palace have a daycare? No. It does not have a daycare. Oh my god. Let me know if you need an excuse to write for Mirage or Zavi for reasons. Next, I knew you were gonna offer that. If you want to, I'm up for it, my friend. How fluffy is their hair? So, they all actually do have hair that is fully functioning. Originally, I wanted Fairy Floss's hair to just be like a chunk. Like a metal chunk, but honestly, that's too top heavy, so she would have actual hair. Zavi's is definitely the fluffiest. It's very fluffy, it's very soft. Everything on Zavi is meant to feel either really smooth or very soft. He's supposed to be very comforting. Mirage has very fluffy hair. Those of you who have possibly seen it in the Discord server if you're a patron, or, you know, Nex and G-Knight, you guys have seen it. You know that Mirage has very fluffy, poofy looking hair. And then, Fairies is also relatively soft as well. But Zavi definitely has the softest. So, we have 10 minutes left, my friends. Do we have any more last-minute questions about everything overall? Like, whether it's Star Palace or whether it's a specific character? Comfortable Zavi. He is. He's meant to be very comfortable. No, I do not plan on adding a daycare to Star Palace. I don't, again, I want this to be different from FNAF. It's not going to be, I don't want it to be super similar. So there will not be a daycare in Star Palace. But yeah, any last minute questions, friends? Plum Vibe is relatable. If anyone ever makes anything to do with Zavi, please notify me for a reason. How deep are their voices? So, you can see Zavi's voice. Again, if you watch stuff on my channel, Zavi does have an official voice. And, Abby, you should know by now what kind of personality Zavi has. You've been in every single stream. And, don't worry, Mirage's voice is coming soon. There will be a little thing coming soon where you guys get to hear them for the first time. Nikki, I've already answered that question. Does Star Palace get sponsorships? Do you mean, like, the actual, like, company? I'm not sure I totally understand that question. Do you have any doppelgangers or animatronics from the main cast's OG manufacturing line? So all of the ones from the manufacturing line do look slightly different from each other, so there's no doppelgangers. Not a question, but Mirage and Aerie dropped this. Snoozy, I'm just gonna have you rewatch at the end of this, because otherwise I'll just be re-saying the stuff that I said at the beginning. I want new questions. Yeah, don't worry, Snoozy, if you just watch, like, the first, like, basically 30 minutes of the stream, you'll get caught up on literally everything. With the company trying to make money how they can, would they try to repair the dragon? So that is actually a thing in the dragon's little side story there. Again, dragon's not the main character, but there is a dragon. So they started trying to redo that ride, and then a lot of accidents started happening, and it was deemed a little bit too dangerous, so they just decided to cut their losses and not finish refurbing the ride. And so the dragon is in there alone. And that water smells very, very bad in that water ride for certain reasons. That being that there's dead bodies jammed into the water filter. But you know. Where's the snazzy snoozy? That's a good question. Do they get deals, for example, like Coca-Cola supply them with drinks? Ah, okay, yeah, they would have stuff like that. Most businesses do. Is it a recent company, or have they been around for several years? It's relatively recent. It's pretty much, they got together specifically to try and make this thing. And, they haven't really done all that much beforehand. Anything that they've done has basically failed. Do Mirage and Fairy get along? They do. The two of them get along pretty well. Fairy can get along pretty well with most people, honestly. Does cartoon logic work in your universe? Cartoon logic works a little bit, but it's not full-on cartoon. There's still, like, real-life rules that are in there. How many other animatronics are at the facility besides the main three? That you'll have to wait and see, because there's the main three, there's the dragon, and then there's like a couple little mini things in there, but they're not going to be really like showcased, admittedly. They're just kind of like stuck in that ride with that dragon, but they're nothing like special. Does Star Palace have any competitors? I mean, most places like this do. It's kind of the equivalent of how Chuck E. Cheese has lots of competitors. But Star Palace is honestly not that successful. Is there a deal to rent two bots for the price of one? I will have to legitimately think about rental times. I'll have to do, like, research on stuff like that. The snazzy art is stuffed away in a folder and I'm leaving it there until I can handle sharing it. Snoozy! Snoozy, I've literally been bothering you for months! It has been months! Please! I will never forget. You have to realize I'm not gonna forget and I will bother you until you do it. Nikki, that sounds more like a kink than a question that I am actually going to answer, and I am not gonna say that. How could Star Palace ever not be successful with such a sexy clown existing? I feel like they're not very good at marketing, honestly. Now I imagine Zavi running off of a high cliff, looking down and falling. Nah, not to that extent. But yeah, any more questions? We got 3.5 minutes left, my friends. And then I have to go eat food. And then get together with Doof for some voice acting stuff. Yeah, don't forget about the Zavi body pillowcase that is for sale and the giveaway. The body pillowcase, the first round of them is actually already shipped out. They are going to be arriving here on Friday, and I will be shipping them out to that first group who ordered them. And there is a giveaway going on, so if you would like to win a Zavi body pillow case, just the case, not the pillow, you can click the link down below, and you can enter to win. So you have to be following my Twitter. Just like and retweet that post, and you can get extra entries if you want to share the video ad that I made for the giveaway with that special hashtag. And you can make fan art, and you can write fan fiction, and you can make crafts of Zavi and tag them under that hashtag that I put in there. And those will be extra entries. You could enter to win for free. But if you would like to just buy the Zavi body pillow, because I'm going to have a couple of extra copies of this first round to sell, they are $60 for the case. It's just a pillowcase. There is no pillow. Originally, there was going to be a pillow, and then they decided that they were going to try and charge me $223 for shipping, and that was not going to be a thing. Because then I would have had to have raised the price of the cases, and I didn't want to do that to you guys. When will Zavi lore video be out? I'm waiting to get a little bit more stuff put together for that. I do not have a specific time frame. Laren says, I do not think I have any more questions, but I'm really looking forward to seeing more with this project. I'm happy about that. I'm glad that you guys are excited to see. I've been working really hard on this. I've been doing a lot of character design. I've been thinking through a lot of plots. Replaying scenes in my head over and over and over again until things look just right, and then I'm going to be taking some time off next week, and I'm going to be doing some hardcore writing. I am going to actually be going out to different little, like, coffee shops and tea shops just to get myself, like, in a fresh environment. If you guys ever have, like, writer's block, going to a fresh environment really helps. So I'll be going out and legitimately, like, spending hours out of the house doing a lot of writing and reworking and things like that. So, like, I'm excited about that. I'm excited for you guys to see what I come up with and what the team does, because I know that both Doof and Reed are very, very excited about this, and it's going to be fun. I would also, in the future, like to do a thing where I have both Doof and Reed in a live stream with me, and we can talk more about character stuff. But yeah, it's looking like that is the end of our time frame, my friends. Thank you guys all for coming out. I really appreciate all of you hanging out, spending time with us, asking questions, getting your questions answered. I really love sharing all this stuff with you guys. So, I will see you all in the next mess. Later, Gators!